after the pandemic, we now have a string of economic challenges. What role does PLDT Enterprise play in supporting businesses amid these tough times?
Yes, and I think, first of all, a very pleasant good morning, Jester and Danny. Thank you for having us here. It's an honor to be here. I think it's about digital transformation. I think digital transformation is a key requirement for business to thrive. And if I may just define it, just to share it, I think a good way to describe it is digital transformation is the reimagining of businesses in the digital age.
Okay.
Right? It's where technology plays a key role in the automation of processes, improving experiences for both employees and customers alike, improving business processes. Leads to competitive differentiation, it leads to business agility, and they say digital transformation is the best defense against disruption. And we know disruption can affect any type of business, right? Be it a small, large, be it PLDT, the PLDT group ourselves. So we're always in this constant process of transformation. And we think our role here is, another very important part of it is culture plays a key role.
Okay.
So it's not just adopting technology, but you have to embrace the need to change, the need to transform, nurturing that culture within within various organizations to make that transformation happen. And our role there is that we view that it's so important that we've actually made it our mission. So our mission within PLDT Enterprises, we really wanted to be the trusted partner of Philippine enterprises for digital transformation. We believe it's so important that we're investing a lot of a lot of time, resources, efforts in people, in practices, so that we can build trust with our customers, so that we can serve them better and help them transform.
It's very interesting though. So from being a service provider of networks, you're now also helping people change their business strategy and business models. You have basically formed a consulting arm in terms of digitalization strategy. Now, this is something that companies have been doing even before the pandemic, right?
Yes.
But the pandemic accelerated this shift. Where
Very
are
much
we
so.
now in the Philippines in terms of what you mentioned? This is a process, this is a journey.
Yes.
Nasaan tayo?
I think it's a process, it's a continuing journey. I think what's important is the willingness to change, the willingness to make it happen. There's various stages of maturity of businesses in the Philippines of where they are in their digital transformation, but it will continue, right? And businesses will continue to be disrupted. So it's that state of being agile to hit all of these transformations is important. If I may make an example,
Go ahead.
if that's okay, one of my favorite brands is for so long I can't even remember how far back. Would used to order cakes from this brand,
Okay.
right? So this every special occasion, we would call in, text, we'd go on a Saturday or a Sunday morning, fall in line, wait for the cake, sometimes long, sometimes short, pray that the letterings are correct. If it's not, you wait again, then you pay. But the cake is so good that we go back over and over again. I just think, for this business, if they were able to get more scale, the potential for that business to really grow. And the other perspective of that is that business ready to be disrupted, right? So, but being in that state of embracing digital transformation, again, as mentioned, is a good defense against disruption.
Now, like what Danny mentioned earlier, the pandemic somehow highlighted the need for digital transformation. But what barriers did it also present, and what's the best way to overcome those hindrances?
So again, as mentioned, it's mindset, it's willingness to change. It's not just to change once, but to be in this constant process of change. And I'd like to also share one of my favorite quotes from Jack Welch, change before you have to, right? So that's one barrier. We mentioned culture, that's important. The other one is technology and skill sets.
Okay.
Right? So we are in a war for talent. Some IT companies are even sharing that attrition could be as high as, for some IT companies, it's as high as 30%.
Yes.
Imagine some teams changing within 3 years, totally. So it's important for organizations to pick partners they can trust, partners that invest in people, and partners that are there for the long term.
All right. Now, sir, last year in the DigiCon, you had unveiled that you were going to be investing not just in hyper centers, but big ones
Yes.
that are much more massive than we could ever imagine.
Yes.
What's the update on that, and what's the rationale with regard to your mission of digitalizing or digitalization for small and medium-sized enterprises?
Yes, and it's still connected to digital transformation, right? So the pandemic drove the need to move to cloud. We transformed overnight. Thank God the cloud was there. We were able to work from home, study from home, be hybrid. It became a matter of businesses either just continuing operations or shutting down. So the explosion of cloud then demands the explosion for data, and the arteries for data go through these so-called data centers. Essentially, any digital transaction that happens today goes through a data center, and it's an area that we're proud to have built practices over the last 20 years. We have 10 data centers already. We broke ground on our 11th one earlier this year. It will be bigger than the first 10 combined in terms of output. That just shows the scale of what we're preparing for, and we're on track for it to go live by December of next year. So stay tuned for our Vitro Santa Rosa.
Okay, if last year's convention was all about data centers, this year, with the theme Boundless, what should be expecting for the digital convention?
Yes. So Boundless really is, well, first, it's going to be, I'm going to be a little bit nostalgic. We're going to hit almost 10 years already for Digicon. It started off as a physical event.
Yes.
Obviously, the last 2 years we had to go hybrid. We had to go virtual. This year, we're going to go hybrid. And it's important that we continue, and we're proud that we've been able to establish a marquee event that businesses and a lot of organizations look forward to, right? We're expecting about 1,000 business leaders at the Marriott this year. And it's not just about a rundown of technology, which is always important, but I think it's important to also enlighten people with best practices, with knowledge sharing from both business and technology leaders alike. Right? It's nurturing them with our participants of both practical and bold journeys that people have gone through, to be able to again digitally transform. And our theme this year is very apt, Boundless. Right? It just shows the limitless potential of organizations if they're able to transform. We're just barely at the cusp of more big things that could happen. And the other side, it's also a mindset, right? So having that thirst, that knowledge, to execute without bounds, to have that boundless energy, boundless enthusiasm to really embrace digital and transform for the better. And if I may also tease, one technological manifestation of boundless is the metaverse, a topic that's been talked about so often. I think people can't have enough of it because the concept is still so vague.
Right.
But I think we'll need more time to talk about it. But I'd like to tease it's a big topic area that will be discussed during Digicon. It's something that we believe will really impact many forms of everyone, consumers, businesses alike. Similar to how how the internet transformed everything. So we believe that the metaverse will be something very similar. And stay tuned because a lot of that will be discussed and shared at our digital convention.